Hello viewers, welcome to the Fatu Network. My name is Amar Wali. I'm here with Fatima Maada, the First Lady of Sierra Leone. She is currently in the country with her husband. And yesterday she presented some items to the pediatric ward of Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital in Banjul. Madam First Lady, welcome to the Gambia.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure this is your first time coming to the Gambia since becoming the First Lady of Sierra Leone.
Indeed, yes, it is.
How is it like being the First Lady of a country?
Oh, well, for me, I just feel like it's just a title that they have to call you First Lady. That's what I think. But really, it's an honor to be looked at as somebody who people will depend on, to be looked at as a mother of a nation. So when people have issues, they know they can talk to me and they know they can give me a message to take back to the government. I think that's an honor.
You are seen by many as a very modest and a humble person. What is the secret about?
I'm a Jahanka woman.
I know.
You know, when you come from an Islamic background where money is not the priority in your life, and that it's what you do for people, what you do with people's life, that's the most important thing. I don't see any reason why you have to show off, and it really is not a big deal.
How did you came into President Bio's life in 2013?
It's by the will of God.
Okay.
He came to London, and there was a charity event that we both attended, and we met there, and one thing led to another, and he asked to marry me, so yeah.
And you say yes?
Yes.
You didn't scrutinize him?
No, really, because when I met him, it took about 6 months before he actually asked if I am willing to marry to him. So at that point, I've learned a lot about him, and I know who he is, and I know I am ready to share my life with somebody like him. And the good thing was that...
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
The good
she
thing...
has to be part of the interview.
Man, yes. You guys, I don't know why you're here.
No, it's okay. I mean, I have to be part of the interview, so you can carry on, yeah.
The good thing really is the fact that when we met, he was not the president. Yeah. So I get to know him as who he is for 5 years before he actually became the president. So that makes our relationship more special, because it's a journey that we went through together. And me and him, we are able to decide on a lot of stuff for us to be able to be where we are now.
Describe him for us. What type of person is he? President Leo.
Him?
Yes.
He's a peaceful man, and very focused, very determined, and really, when I say determined, I mean determined. He wants to succeed, he wants to achieve, he wants to get a lot of things done for Africa. And he's not only looking at Sierra Leone as the only country, he wants Sierra Leone to be a role model for Africa, where other countries will actually emulate what Sierra Leone has done, how Sierra Leone has transformed themselves, so that they can catch up, because he believed in the Africanism, and he believed that Africa, we have to do our own thing, we have to fight our own battle, we have to develop our own continent, we have to look out for each other. So he's a typical African man that believes in the African philosophy.
How did he turn around things? We have seen free education in Sierra Leone and many other things since he came to power in that country.
Like I said, because he has been there before, he was a president before now. So I think that also makes it more easier for him, because he came in running. He knows exactly where the goalpost was. He knows where to kick, which ball to kick. So he was very conscious of what he wants to do. He knows that education has lacked greatly in Sierra Leone. Education has been the nightmare for Sierra Leoneans, a country that was once, looked up to as the anthem of Africa. Most people, most head of states in Africa went to school in Sierra Leone. Yeah. And today, no one can be proud of that anymore. So he felt it is important for Sierra Leoneans to have that their gloss glory, and that's the reason why Yes, this is the worst thing when you're a mother.
Yeah, but it's good to have to be a mother too.
Can you go this way, please?
Amina, you want to be part of the interview, right?
Go now, go put her. Go put her.
All right.
I'm sorry, viewers, if you're watching.
She has to be part of the team. Okay, she kind of interrupted our interview, but before her, there was somebody you gave birth. 3 days later, the baby passed on. How was it like?
That was a hard thing, you know. No mother wants to lose a child. No woman wants to lose a child. So that was a very difficult thing for me. And not just for me. It was a very trying time for myself and my husband. We were looking forward to having a boy. He was a son, our son. We had a wonderful name, Hamza, for him. And only to have him, and an hour later he passed away. That was a very trying time for both of us. I think that tests our relationship, because at that point we both needed each other. We both need to lean on each other. And I think that's the time God tests us. But it happened. As a Muslim, we know how it is. You don't question the will of God. And that's how He wants it.
Many said you are the reason behind Mada being elected president. If so, how did you make it?
I don't think so, because Madabi was the candidate.
Yeah, but you are influential in the campaign.
I can't, well, no, the fact in the matter is, it's just that understanding your husband's dream, understanding his vision, understanding what he wants to do. When you understand, even if the person is not your husband, even if the person, a lot of politicians, the reason why they fail is that they have supporters who do not understand their vision. They have supporters who have no clue why they are that person. That's not a joke. So, you know, I talk to him about a lot of stuff. When I think something is not right, I tell him. Doesn't mean because I tell him he does anything about it or he change anything about it. But my job is to make sure I tell him. Just for tomorrow, I'll remind him and say, well, didn't I tell you? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, I am not looking for a favor. I'm not looking for him to do me any favor. I mean, you know, I'm not thinking of him increasing my salary. I don't get paid for what I do. I sit at the back and discuss with him, and then we agree on the issues, and then I go out there. So it's always me and him in agreement before I actually go out.
There's always this, can say, push and pull between the First Lady's office and so on. Should First Ladies have foundations?
Where would I tell people that money come from? The office of the First Lady is not part of a government institution. In Sierra Leone, I've been blessed that my husband actually got me my own office where I can wake up in the morning and go to work and come home so that we separate our home from office. So I can go and work. In 24 hours, there's one time that he had no choice but to listen. When you're in that bedroom, that is your own office. That's the woman's office. You make use of your office. That is when he had to listen.
You sound like he listened to you than more than Sierra Leonean.
No, you just, it's your office. Your husband leaves the house in the morning, go to work and spend the whole day, sometimes half of the night there. When he comes home, the least he can do is listen to He listens more and talk less. Sometimes he don't talk at all.
Let's talk about your foundation, Hands of the God. We know you focus on issues like fistula, HIV/AIDS, and infertility, and so on. How far, what success have you registered so far since inception?
Well, the one thing I can celebrate right now as I'm sitting is the fact that today the Parliament of Sierra Leone have rectified the law in terms of rape. So now when you rape a child in Sierra Leone, automatically you go to court and you are found guilty, you go to prison for life. That, I think, it's a huge achievement, because that's part of my flagship. If my flagship has been championed by the government and it has gone into Parliament and today we've got such a result, I should be really celebrating. I know I'm in the Gambia, but I am rooting for this. I want to go to Sierra Leone so badly right now so that the women and myself will celebrate. When I did the launching, the official launching of Hands of Our Girl, I have been the only First Lady who is able to bring other First Ladies within the sub-region to support a cause. And the reason why I really focus on bringing my colleagues is because I know the issues that I want to deal with, these are issues that affect every African country. But sometimes we don't want to talk about it. So I felt, you know what, if I am going to be the first Vuvuzela, I will do it. And if others can join me and we continue to campaign and make this my husband announced that they have actually raised $1 million to build a cancer center in Sierra Leone, which we don't have. Everybody who have cancer in that country will have to find minimum $15,000 to go to Ghana first. Okay. Or they have to go to India. or they have to go to America. How many people can afford that? Not many people. But on the day of the World Cancer Day, which I championed, my husband made a pronouncement that they've already raised $1 million from the money that they have been collecting from the Commission of Inquiries. And that money is going to be spent in building an oncology center, which will focus on nothing but cancer. So I feel like, you don't get everything one day, but gradually, if we have the cancer, that's part of my flagship. We've got the law for rape. We have tabled another for the early marriage issue. And inshallah, by the time, we get to 5 years, I believe that I have 6 flagships that I work on. Okay. I believe all of them will be looked at.
How do you see the new Gambia? Like Sierra Leonean, but we are Gambian as well. What is your take? How do you see this new Gambia? That's everybody talking about.
This is like home, coming home. It's, you come home. Normally when you come home, you focus on your family house and see what's there. But I'm happy to be back, and the new Gambia is here. I have not had the time and opportunity to actually go around outside the convoy and, the security. I will want to come back on my own when I don't have all this pageantry around me, and then look at the new Gambia. Because when I was leaving, it was Jammeh that was here. And when I came back, it is now President Barrow who is here. So it would be nice to just evaluate and then look at, the things that Jammeh has done before he left and what President Barrow has started doing, because he's also new. We'll give him time to build up from where Jammeh left, and then we see how we're going. Because what we don't want in the Gambia is go back. No, we want to go forward. We want to climb the ladder. We also want to be successful. We want Gambia also to be known around the world as one of the Silicon Valley's countries that want to achieve and countries that are achieving. We don't want Gambia to derail into any silliness. No. But I'm looking forward. Absolutely anything.
Imagine your husband is elected in a country where the constitution said he should serve for 5 years.
I'm supporting, or I'm here speaking on behalf of the government. That's not what it is. But if we start changing the constitution, all of a sudden, what else are we going to change?
When you said I'm not here to speak for the government, which government are you talking about?
I'm talking about President Barrow's government. Okay. Because I know the question is because of, there was a time when they said, okay, the Gambians said, when I heard that first, I cringed, like, are they serious? Have they checked the constitution? There is a constitutional mandate. You cannot just change, This is like an agreement by word. The constitution is written and signed, and that is why we stand and say for the Gambia, you know, you cannot change the constitution just because somebody made a pronouncement. No. Even President Barrow knows he cannot change that law. The law says 5 years.
What sisterly advice do you have for the First Lady of the Gambia, who is embroiled in a $35 million scandal? I'm sure she must have shared that nightmare with you.
No,
Or
me,
no, okay.
I have...
But what will be your advice to her?
I cannot advise on something that I have no clue. I
don't
have never
a clue.
heard about
You have-
anything.
Throughout all this noise, you know?
Absolutely none.
Okay.
No.
You heard about it today?
I have heard about it, so if now that you are telling me,
Okay.
what I will have to do is ask her in person, and if she says yes, that's true, then I'll say, hey girl, are you crazy? If she says it's not true, it's not for me to judge her.
Okay.
No.
So it's only about being crazy. Let's talk about the statement you delivered in Geneva in 2018. The Girls Without Name. You talk about where the problem is Sierra Leone, talk about the war and Ebola. What is the situation now in that country?
Sierra Leone is a new Sierra Leone. There's a new transformation, there's a new government, it's the new direction. We have moved from all of those negativity. Now people see Sierra Leone, the respect that His Excellency gets when he travels. Remember, he's the chairman of the C10 of Africa.
Yeah.
It's under his tenure now, he's really campaigning so that, you know, Africa should have their own place in the United Nations Security Council. Because since the world begins, Africa, we have contributed to everything in the world. And then you said I should not have the right to make my own decision when it comes to Africa. I think the United Nations need to look into that. And I know Julius Maada Bio is not going to stop until the United Nations look into those issues, because the population of Africa is more than the population of Europe.
When we posted on Facebook that we will be interviewing you, somebody said I should ask you whether you are facing challenges in ending FGM in Sierra Leone.
If I am what?
Facing challenges in ending FGM in Sierra Leone.
FGM for me is a very critical situation. I have had a meeting with the people concerned, people campaigning against FGM. I cannot talk anything against FGM. I'm a circumcised woman. I am a circumcised woman.
But you are an educated woman too.
It doesn't matter.
It matters.
No.
But in your capacity now, you are not only a circumcised woman, but you are also a first lady of a country.
Yes.
You are fighting against a child marriage and so on. So you must have an opinion.
I am.
about
Okay, listen to me. I have seen the consequences of what early marriage does to children. I have seen how he has destroyed people's life. I have seen the worst thing that has happened to a child who will have a child that she is 12, 13 years old and then have a child. She cannot look after herself. She cannot look after her child. And I was once a victim because at the age of 12, I knew who my husband was supposed to be. It is only by the grace of God that God saved me. But if not, by the time I was 15, I would have been shipped off. Remember, I'm a Jahanka woman, so I would have been shipped off. Just God saved me because I went to England and I deliberately refused to come for the wedding. I deliberately told my family I'm not coming. So I know that consequences. But do you want me to go and stand and talk about circumcision when I'm a circumcised woman? I do not have a problem. I had 3 children. I have 4 children. 1 passed away. My 3 children are alive. My pregnancy has been very successful. And when I want to deliver, it will take me within half an hour. If you don't take me to the hospital, I will have my baby. So tell me, would you want me to go and campaign for something that I don't believe in? Or do you want me to campaign for issues that I know?
So because something that doesn't affect you, you will not talk about it.
No.
Because you can just deliver within 30 minutes.
No, that's not the case.
Yeah, your case is a different one.
What I am trying to say here is, if they can show me, because I live in Sierra Leone and the Gambia, how many people does he affect in the Gambia? How many people does he affect in Sierra Leone? You have to give me those statistics. Because these are the 2 countries I would want to talk about. Give me the statistics first. Tell me how it affects the women. Tell me what it does to the women. Tell me the consequences of it.
Let me give
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my sisters, my aunties, all of them are all circumcised. You know, I said to myself, I have said, what we can do, there is a better way to deal with circumcision. The best way and better way, because it is not in any religion that we have to be circumcised. I know male have to be circumcised, but women, it is not there. And it is a cultural belief. And it is not only a cultural belief, but it's a financial thing also for the people who do circumcision. So if you're coming from the West, you now come. Because the way I look at this, why are you coming here and tell me about circumcision, but you don't talk about polygamy?
Okay.
Why is it that you will not talk about polygamy? Because you will want to have 2, 3, 4 wives.
Yes.
Because it's good for you. But you don't know whether that is good for me too. So if you cannot talk about polygamy, you cannot talk about, a man sticking with one wife, which the West are practicing. The West, they believe in one man, one wife. But Africa, the men will have, 4 wives and 16 girlfriends at the back. But that is not a crime. But you're telling me I should go campaign. Why shouldn't I campaign about polygamy?
So as far as you're concerned, it's not an issue for you?
All I'm saying is, you want this to stop? The incentive that the people because it's a whole cultural thing.
Yes.
Those incentives, if you provide it for the people who are doing it, I am not the one who does it. If you provide it for those people, you understand? If I am giving you what you get when you do circumcision, why would you want to go and do circumcision? The law in Sierra Leone is that you cannot circumcise a child until they are 18. If you're 18, would you want to go and circumcise yourself at the age of 18? So what other law do they want? Because there is a law already that is in Sierra Leone that says 18 years. That law is there. It has been passed. It is there. Which other law you want? You want the First Lady to go and talk about something that she's already part of. I am a circumcised woman.
Not at all.
I can't do that.
Let's talk about, we're about to wrap up now. What should other First Ladies do in Africa? You have these hands of our girls, teenage, early marriage and so on. So what should other, if they have to venture into issues, what should their priorities be?
I think for now, my own belief, I might be wrong, but I believe early marriage is an issue. I think early marriage is a huge issue in the whole of Africa, because not about the word early marriage, it's the consequences after the marriage. There's just so many girls, they can't maintain being married. They are married at the age of 14, 15. Before they are 16, 17, they're divorced. And now they come back to their family. They might come back to the family with 1 or 2 children. They have to sit there now. The family, it's like it's a burden. It's a burden on the economy. It's a burden on the family. It's a burden on the children themselves. I think First Lady should look into those issues. And the word rape. Rape, not in our society. I know you have rape all over the world, but at least there are laws that also govern when you rape, this is what will happen. Those laws, we have to make sure they are stronger, and they have to be enforced in Africa. We need to look into those too.
Finally, before we wrap up, what will be your final message as a First Lady and as a Gambian?
I just want to say I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be back, and I'm looking for a beautiful Gambia. Doesn't matter where I am, I want to see Gambia, because my children, they're Sierra Leoneans and they are Gambians. I am Sierra Leonean, I'm a Gambian. I want to see Gambia grow. I want us to achieve a lot. Just like as I have given the opportunity by God to work for Sierra Leone, I want to see the same thing transcend into Gambia also, and that Gambia will achieve so much and that we'll grow together. I just went to visit the former President Jawara, and he said something that was very important, that the relationship between Sierra Leone and the Gambia has come since the colonial days. You go to the farm, the 2 people that you meet there are Gambians and Sierra Leoneans. You go to school, you meet Gambians and Sierra Leoneans. So that relationship, that brotherhood, that relationship in terms of everything was there. So in terms of development also, we want to see these 2 countries develop together, these 2 countries grow together, and this country excel together.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.